Imagine this. You're born into poverty in rural Mississippi. Your mom is a teenager, your grandmother raises you. You wear dresses made from potato sacks. You're abused as a child. You're told you're too emotional and not pretty enough for TV. But you have a gift. You can connect with people, you can make them feel seen, heard, and understood. So you keep pushing forward, even when everyone doubts you. You become a talk show host. But instead of following the format everyone else uses, gossip, sensationalism, conflict, you do something radical. You're real, you're vulnerable, you share your own struggles, you turn your show into a place of healing and growth, and you become the most influential woman in media. You build $1 billion empire. You change television forever. Presidents seek your endorsement. Millions of people around the world see you as a trusted friend. Her name is Oprah Winfrey, and she proved that your past doesn't define your future, that authenticity is more powerful than perfection, and that when you use your success to lift others, your impact becomes limitless. Today, Lily and I are diving into Oprah's inspiring story and brainstorming a business idea inspired by her journey that you can start today. This is Tallie Talks. Let's get this started.
She's got a mind, she's got a spark, lighting up dreams from dawn to dark. Tallie Talks, yeah, she's the voice, asking the questions, making the choice. Young hustlers rising, stories to tell, big ideas where passions dwell. Pull up a chair, grab your seat, let's talk the hustle, let's feel the beat. Tallie Talks, yeah, Tallie Talks, turning whispers into walks, dreaming big, take the shot. This is the place where dreams get called. Tallie Talks, oh, Tallie Talks, Tallie Talks. Ooh, yeah.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to Season 2 of Tallie Talks. I'm Tallie Pennyworth, and we are 16 episodes into this incredible season.
Last week, we talked about James Dyson, the inventor who failed 5,126 times before creating the revolutionary bagless vacuum cleaner.
And we learned to embrace failure as feedback, believe in yourself when others don't, and be patient because innovation takes time. So, Lily, welcome back.
Thanks, Tallie. I'm really excited about today's episode because Oprah's story is one of the most powerful examples of turning pain into purpose.
Right? Like, she overcame so much trauma and adversity to become one of the most influential people in the world.
Exactly. And what I love about Oprah is that she never pretended to be perfect. She was always authentic, always real, and that's what made people trust and love her.
Okay, quick question before we dive in. Did you ever watch Oprah's show?
I've seen clips and reruns. My mom used to watch it religiously. She said Oprah was like her daily dose of inspiration.
Same. My grandma loved Oprah. She'd watch every episode and talk about it. Oprah just has this way of making everyone feel like she's talking directly to them.
That's her superpower, connection and authenticity.
Let's talk about how she built an empire with that superpower.
So, Oprah Winfrey was born in 1954 in rural Mississippi to a teenage single mother. Her name was originally supposed to be Orpah from the Bible, but people mispronounced it as Oprah, and it stuck.
So her name was an accident.
Kind of. Oprah's early life was incredibly hard. She lived with her grandmother on a farm, and they were desperately poor. Oprah wore dresses made from potato sacks. But her grandmother taught her to read when she was 3 years old, and Oprah fell in love with words and stories.
So even in poverty, she was learning and curious.
Exactly. But when Oprah was 6, she moved to Milwaukee to live with her mother, and that's when things got really dark. Oprah was sexually abused by male relatives and family friends starting when she was 9 years old.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
It was. And back then, people didn't talk about abuse. Oprah felt ashamed and alone. She acted out as a teenager, running away, getting in trouble. By 14, she was pregnant. The baby was born prematurely and died shortly after.
That's so much trauma for a young person to carry.
It was devastating. But then, Oprah went to live with her father in Nashville, and that changed everything. Her dad was strict but supportive. He made her focus on school, on reading, on education. Oprah discovered she had a gift: public speaking.
So that's where she found her talent.
Yes. In high school, Oprah won speech competitions. She was smart, articulate, and powerful when she spoke. She got a full scholarship to Tennessee State University, and while she was in college, a local radio station hired her to read the news.
So she got her start in media as a college student.
Exactly, and Oprah was a natural. By 19, she became the youngest and first Black female news anchor at Nashville's WLAC-TV. People were drawn to her. She wasn't like typical news anchors. She was warm, emotional, real.
Okay, so she's a news anchor at 19. What happens next?
Oprah moved to Baltimore to co-anchor the evening news, but her bosses kept criticizing her. They said she was too emotional, that she got too involved in the stories, that she cried on air when covering sad news.
But isn't emotion what made her relatable?
Exactly. But at the time, journalists were supposed to be detached and objective. Oprah's empathy was seen as a weakness. Her bosses even sent her to a speech coach and a salon to make her more TV appropriate. They permed her hair and it all fell out.
Oh no.
It was humiliating. But then the station moved Oprah to co-host a morning talk show called People Are Talking. And suddenly, everything clicked. On a talk show, Oprah's empathy and authenticity were strengths, not weaknesses.
So she found the right format for her talents.
Yes, the show became incredibly popular. And in 1984, Oprah got a big opportunity. She was recruited to host a failing morning talk show in Chicago called AM Chicago.
So she moved to Chicago to save a failing show?
Exactly. And it was risky. Chicago was a bigger market, and the show was competing against Phil Donahue, the king of talk shows. But within months, Oprah's show was beating Donahue in the ratings.
Wow, so she turned it around immediately.
She did. And here's why. Oprah was different. Most talk shows at the time were sensational or confrontational, but Oprah's show was authentic and empowering. She talked about real issues, relationships, health, trauma, personal growth, and she shared her own struggles openly.
So she made it about real connection, not just entertainment.
Exactly. In 1986, the show was renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show and went national. It became the highest-rated talk show in America almost immediately.
Okay, so her show is a massive hit. When does Oprah become not just a host, but a mogul?
Great question. In 1988, Oprah did something revolutionary. She founded Harpo Productions. Harpo is Oprah spelled backwards.
Oh, I never realized that.
And Harpo Productions owned The Oprah Winfrey Show. This meant Oprah owned and controlled her content, which was incredibly rare, especially for a Black woman in the 1980s. She wasn't just the talent, she was the boss.
So she owned her own show and production company.
Exactly, and that made her incredibly wealthy and powerful. The Oprah Winfrey Show ran for 25 years, from 1986 to 2011. It was watched by millions of people every day in over 140 countries.
25 years, that's incredible.
And Oprah used her platform for so much good. She started Oprah's book club, which made reading cool again and turned unknown authors into bestsellers. She did episodes about mental health, abuse, racism, topics that were taboo but needed to be discussed.
So she wasn't afraid to tackle difficult subjects.
Not at all. And Oprah built an empire beyond the show. She launched the Oprah magazine. She started OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network. She acted in movies like The Color Purple and was nominated for an Oscar. She became a billionaire and one of the most influential people in the world. Today, Oprah is worth over $2.5 billion. But what makes her story special isn't just the money, it's the impact. Oprah has donated hundreds of millions of dollars to education, especially for girls. She built a leadership academy for girls in South Africa.
She's giving back in huge ways.
Absolutely. And Oprah has said that her mission is to help people become the best version of themselves. Everything she does, her show, her network, her philanthropy, is about empowering people to grow and heal.
That's so powerful.
And here's what I love most about Oprah. She never hid her pain. She talked openly about being abused, about struggling with her weight, about feeling insecure. She showed that you can acknowledge your trauma and still build an extraordinary life.
So vulnerability became her strength.
Exactly. And that's why people trust her. She's not perfect, and she doesn't pretend to be. She's authentic. And in a world full of fake personas, authenticity is revolutionary.
Quick reminder. If you're loving these stories about powerful, resilient entrepreneurs, you need to check out Blueprints of Power, the podcast my co-host Lily does with Jack and Charlie. They explore the greatest empires in history and make it super entertaining. Did you know Cleopatra's Egypt was the last of the great ancient empires and she spoke 9 languages? She was incredibly intelligent and strategic. The entire first season is on YouTube right now. Go subscribe, watch all the episodes, and let them know Tallie sent you. That's Blueprints of Power on YouTube. You're going to love it. All right, we're back. Lily, what's the big lesson from Oprah Winfrey's story?
The lesson is authenticity is more powerful than perfection. Oprah succeeded because she was real. She shared her struggles, showed her emotions, and connected with people on a human level. In a world that tells you to hide your flaws, being authentic is revolutionary.
So it's like, don't try to be perfect. Be real. People connect with real.
Exactly. And here's the other lesson. Use your pain as fuel. Oprah could have let her trauma define and destroy her. Instead, she used it to help others heal. She turned her pain into purpose. Your struggles can become your superpower.
That's so powerful. So your wounds can become wisdom.
Yes, and one more thing. Own your work. Oprah created Harpo Productions so she controlled her content and her career. Don't just work for someone else. Build something you own. Ownership creates wealth and freedom.
I love that. So, authenticity is more powerful than perfection. Use your pain as fuel to help others. And own your work. Build something you control.
Perfect.
All right, time for the Kid Business Brainstorm. What business can kids start inspired by Oprah Winfrey?
Okay, so Oprah built her empire on authentic connection and empowering others, right? She created spaces where people could share their stories and feel heard.
Right. So what if kids started a storytelling and empowerment platform?
Yes, I love this. So the idea is you create opportunities for people in your community to share their stories and feel empowered. This could take many forms.
Give me examples.
Okay, so maybe you start a podcast or YouTube channel where you interview people in your community, classmates, teachers, neighbors, local business owners. You ask them about their lives, their challenges, their successes. You give them a platform to be heard.
That's brilliant. Like a kid version of Oprah's show. Or what about starting a storytelling event at your school or library? You organize monthly gatherings where people can share their stories. 5-minute talks about something they've learned or overcome.
Yes, like a TED Talk for your community. Or you could create a written storytelling project, a blog or newsletter where you feature someone's story every week. You interview them, write their story beautifully, and share it.
Ooh, or what about a story booth service? You set up at community events with recording equipment, and people can record their stories about their grandparents, their heritage, their experiences. You give them the recording as a keepsake.
That's amazing! Or you could create empowerment workshops for younger kids, teaching confidence, public speaking, goal setting. You become like a mini Oprah, helping others discover their potential.
I love all of these. So how would you actually start this business?
First, decide which format feels right for you. Are you better at video, audio, writing, or in-person events? Play to your strengths, just like Oprah found that TV was her medium.
Then reach out to your first storytellers. Start with people you know, family, friends, teachers. Ask them, can I interview you about X? Or, would you share your story at our event? Most people will be honored to be asked.
Exactly. And here's the key. Be genuinely curious and empathetic, just like Oprah. Ask good questions. Listen deeply. Make people feel safe sharing vulnerable things. That's what creates powerful stories.
And you could focus on specific themes, like overcoming challenges, first-generation stories, dreams and goals, hidden talents, themes that help people connect and feel less alone.
Yes, and here's what's important. Always get permission before sharing someone's story publicly. Respect their privacy and agency. Oprah always treated her guests with dignity and respect.
And how would you make money from this?
Great question. If you're doing a podcast or blog, you could eventually get sponsorships from local businesses. If you're doing storytelling events, you could charge a small admission fee or ask for donations. If you're recording story booths, you could charge for the service and the edited recording.
Or you could offer it free initially to build your portfolio and reputation, then add paid services later, like Oprah's book club recommendations where she partnered with publishers.
Perfect. And what would kids learn from this business?
Interviewing skills, active listening, empathy, storytelling and writing, audio-video production, event planning, and how to create meaningful connections. These are such valuable life skills.
Absolutely. And you're learning that everyone has a story worth telling. You're practicing seeing people deeply, which is what Oprah does better than almost anyone.
And you could create a mission statement like, everyone deserves to be heard. Everyone's story matters. That gives your business purpose beyond just making money.
Yes. And you could partner with organizations. Schools could feature your student spotlights. Senior centers could use your story recording service. Community centers could host your events. Think about who else cares about storytelling and empowerment.
I love it. So the business is storytelling and empowerment platform. Create opportunities for people to share their stories through interviews, events, recordings, or writing. Be authentic and empathetic. Make people feel heard and valued. And use storytelling to empower and connect your community.
And remember Oprah's lesson, be authentic. Don't try to be someone you're not. Your genuine curiosity and empathy are what will make people trust you and open up.
Perfect. Okay, who's going to start a storytelling and empowerment platform? Send us your stories and interviews. All right, everyone. That's episode 16 of season 2. We explored Oprah Winfrey's inspiring journey, from poverty and trauma to becoming one of the most influential media moguls in the world.
Lesson: authenticity is more powerful than perfection. Use your pain as fuel to help others and own your work. Build something you control.
And our kid business idea, storytelling and empowerment platform. Create opportunities for people to share their stories, be authentic and empathetic, and use storytelling to empower and connect your community.
Next week, we're talking about Barbara Corcoran, the real estate mogul who turned a $1,000 loan into a billion-dollar business and became one of the stars of Shark Tank. Her story about confidence, resilience, and creative marketing is fantastic.
I love Barbara Corcoran. She's hilarious and so smart. Thanks for being here, Lily.
Thanks, Tallie. Oprah's story is truly inspiring.
And thank you for listening. If you loved this episode, share it with someone who needs to hear that their story matters. Rate us, review us, and send us your business ideas. We love hearing from you.
Because authenticity is revolutionary and everyone's story deserves to be heard.
See you next time on Tallie Talks. Peace out.